We're back with our breaking news. Donald Trump on day 3 of jury selection in the first ever criminal trial of a former president. Joining us now outside the courthouse, NBC's Vaughn Hilliard. So, Vaughn, what's the latest from there?
Yeah, Jose, right now, those individuals that are in the jury box are currently going through that 42-question questionnaire. Of course, we had another batch of 96 that came into the courtroom at 9:30 a.m. Eastern this morning. About 65 of them were dismissed after saying that either they couldn't be fair and impartial or they had another reason that wouldn't allow them to go forward. So we've got an allotment of 39 individuals, and now they're working their way answering these questions. I can tell you from the first 8 to have answered those 42 questions so far. Interestingly, you could say 2 of them have read Art of the Deal. One of them read Michael Cohen's book. Another individual said that they had read Mark Pomerantz's book about this case. And so kind of a fascinating look inside. I want to let you meet another dismissed juror here who I just met a few moments ago. This is Mark. Mark, you are one of those individuals, correct me if I'm wrong, who rose your hand this morning and said you would not be able to be fair and impartial. How did that play out?
Yeah, we were summoned in. The judge read all the particulars of the case, how one was supposed to evaluate the law and the evidence. And then he said, you know, if there's a reason that you don't think you could be impartial or that you could be perceived as biased, that you should raise your hand. So I raised my hand because I was certain that even if, and intellectually I would be capable of being unbiased, that because I have satirized Mr. Trump often in my artwork, that this would come to light, and that were I to be seated on the trial, it would be dishonest for me to withhold that information. But there's be no way that Blanche, who's not going to rely on the kindness of strangers, would permit me to be on the jury.
Would you describe to me what you saw with Donald Trump while you were sitting inside of that courtroom?
Not very much. He was a bit ahead of me and off to the left. I didn't have a complete view of him today. He sort of plopped in a chair. You know, you can see the orange. But I was not close to him.
Did you see him turn around and look at the juror?
No.
The potential jurors at any point?
No, there are quite a few people in the room. And I didn't stare at him the whole time. I glanced at him a number of times. But I did not see him turning around and looking at anybody at that point. The next phase, as the judge explained it, would be that if you were going to be a potential juror, there would be a more of a questionnaire for you to fill out and that you would be interviewed. I thought, this is ridiculous. There's no way after my online presence, where I've satirized this man again and again, that I would be fit to, they would regard me as to be fit to serve, and it would be a waste of their time. And frankly, as a taxpayer, our money, for me to clog up the process that way.
So you were an honest man and you rose your hand and you had your opportunity to see the former president of the United States there for that quick moment, but you bypassed the potential opportunity to try to be a juror.
I did.
Mark, good talking with you.
Pleasure.
Thank you for your time.
Good luck,
Appreciate it. Jose, there's a cast now of dismissed jurors here in New York City here that can say that they saw Donald Trump for the start of his criminal trial. But as we continue to make our way through, we're currently at 6 jurors. Of course, there are 6 more jurors that need to be found, as well as 6 alternatives. So we got a ways to go, Jose.
Vaughn Hilliard, fascinating. Thank you very much.
Hey everyone, MSNBC has a new and improved app. You'll get real-time alerts and analysis, live blogs, in-depth essays, video highlights, and the best 2024 election coverage. Download the new MSNBC app. Here's how to do it. You tap on the App Store on your phone. You hit search on the bottom right corner. You type in MSNBC. You click on the MSNBC app. You click on Get or the cloud icon and enjoy it.